more of a horizontal guy overall, but this one just makes the best balance between everything. The improved OS from Anbernic, this is my recommended starter handheld. When you have severe gas, you need to take some Pepto Bismol. That pink stuff will... No, wait, I'm not a doctor or a medical professional, and I hate the taste of that stuff. Hey, Deadheads, welcome back to the channel. Or welcome to the channel for the first time, new Deadheads. Today, we're taking a look back at my favorite handhelds of the year. Now, this is by no means meant to sway or persuade you. I want you guys to know that these are the handhelds that I find myself picking up and playing. I review a ton of handhelds over the last year, more than 100 of them. And these are the few that I actually keep and actually pick up and play and enjoy. Now, they're probably not the most popular, but I'm not going for popularity. Again, this is my list, what I think is great, and I want to see you guys in the comments respond and tell me what you think. I know you're going to think I'm crazy about a few of these, and that's okay. We should be able to disagree. That's the great thing about this hobby of ours. There's plenty. I mean, there's too many for us to choose from, so nobody should feel like they have to like something just because somebody else does. Like what you like and play the games you want to play. And anyways, if you're watching this, let me know what you think. But here we go. Also, we're going to have the old man hold each one of these and describe what he feels. Remember, he's not a gamer, but he's just describing what he sees watching me and knowing what I like and seeing if he finds it to be the same. Anyways, remember to hit that like button and subscribe so you'll never miss an episode of our awesome content. And let's go! Quick note, Deadheads, in the interest of time saving and editing, I'm only going to have the old man do the top 5. So let's start with the devices that made my year-end list but are not in the top 5. My beloved Unicorn. Ah, yes, the A1 Unicorn from Z Games and Laozang. I love this. If you've watched my channel for a while, then you know that I've been a big fan of the Snow Cake. Now, this is a metal version made specially for me, but the regular Unicorn is basically the mass production version of the Snow Cake. So with its 1:1 ratio screen, its Helio G99, micro switches, comfortable form factor, and just all around beautiful 720p screen. This is one of my favorite devices ever. Now, I definitely could be called a fanboy of Z Games, I guess. But again, remember, this list is my favorites this year, handhelds that I've liked. It's not like I'm the authority on the top 10 of the year. But this Unicorn is a great device. The price has been lowered. I think we can probably get it at under $115 nowadays, which is a steal. I wanted to put this in my top 5, but guys, I ultimately picked the Pixel because it's such a special little product. The Unicorn is an evolution of the Snow Cake, and since the Snow Cake is not a mass-produced product, I didn't put it in my top 5. But again, remember, these first ones you're seeing are still some of my favorite handhelds. They're just not in my top 5 for this year. Anyways, let's look at some more. So out of all the H700s, including, yes, the SP, this is my favorite, the RG40XX H. I'm more of a horizontal guy overall, but this one just makes the best balance between everything. The improved OS from Anbernic, this is my recommended starter handheld. Unless you want to go super cheap and super budget, and then the R36S is probably what I'd recommend, or the Miu Mini. But for most people that want to have a decent, good experience and get into the genre and have a pretty good up to N64, some N64, and Dreamcast, the 40XXH is my recommendation. It is a well-made device. It feels good in the hands. Mu OS makes this thing amazing. It's just a lot of fun to play on. And whatever H76 you get out of these 8 devices, They're all going to have their strengths and weaknesses. But again, for me, this is my top pick for this year. Let's see what the old... And so let's keep things rolling. Let's look at what's next. It didn't make the top 5, but how about this one? Ayaneo Pocket Micro. This little handheld, which is a love letter to retro gaming's past with its NES themed looking rectangle shape that mimics the old Nintendo controllers and brings us a beautiful 4x 3:2 aspect ratio screen, making Game Boy Advance look beautiful on this. This is my favorite way to play Game Boy Advance. It's very close to the V10. The V10 is another great experience at a much lesser price, but I really enjoy playing Game Boy on this screen. It's pocketable. It feels solid. It doesn't feel cheap. It can go anywhere. The screen is just gorgeous. The G99 is great for what it can do. I can get away with some Nintendo Wii even. I play a lot of Klonoa on this. So it's a great handheld. Again, as with most Ayaneo devices, you are paying the premium. But hey guys, people pay a lot of money for Analog Pocket. I think this is a fantastic device. We also have got this coming out pretty soon from Antec with the Core Micro, and perhaps their pricing will be more competitive. Either way, it's fantastic, but let's not stop rolling there. Let's keep it going. We're getting closer to our top 5. The sometimes overpriced, very sought after, field programmable gate array handheld, which took the world by storm and has often come out in limited batches and been sold out in minutes. This limited batch right here, which was the aluminum edition, did not sell out immediately, although this colorway sold out pretty quick, the indigo. I love this device. This is one of my favorite ways to play Game Boy and Game Boy Color. Although I'm looking forward to Mod Retro from the Chromatic from Mod Retro to see if it can outdo this. But for me, this is absolutely the most premium, best way to play Game Boy and Game Boy Colors. Now that you can use cartridges, including EverDrives, or you can use Open FPGA. There is no better way, in my opinion. Again, I know some of you may think that emulation with the shaders and all the fancy stuff you can do would do better. But guys like Bud Dude and continue to improve the cores. We got real-time clock coming. Guys, this is the real deal. Anyways, we've got one more to go before we hit our top 5. So let's take a look at the Magic X Mini M. All right, guys. So one of my favorites, the Magic X Mini M, which when the Mini 28 comes out, I'm certain will replace this, but has been one of my favorites of this year. With its form compact, its impressive analog sticks, its nice controls. It was only marred by the engineers faking the chip in this. The company itself took full responsibility. They made amends, and I do believe they're going to come back from this. So if you take into account that this is actually a Rock Chip 3326, I think you'll find that this is a very, very nice device. It's one of my favorites of the year. I like it a lot. And if you're going for a 2.8-inch handheld, this is my favorite. Again, remember, these are mine. By no means am I the one to tell everybody what they like and do not like. So keep that in mind. Anyways, we've come to the time. Let's go for the top 5, my 5 favorite handhelds of the year, starting with number 5. No doubt, I'm going to be in the minority with this one. Yes, I picked the Retroid Pocket Mini over the 5. It's not that I don't like the 5. I love the 5. It's just that the Pocket S, it does everything the 5 can do and so much better. The OLED screen is a little bit of an advantage, but with the 1440p, I'd rather just have the Pocket Mini with me because 4.3 content is going to fill this screen. Anything 16.9, I'm going to play on the Pocket S. It's going to do it better than the 5. So for me, again, this is my favorites of the year. I put this one ahead of the 5. So this little handheld is amazing. There was some controversy at first about the screen or whatever, but guys, it is a beautiful device. It dual boots Linux and Android. The custom firmware is coming along. The 4:3 screen is gorgeous. It's got a high resolution. It's an OLED screen. It just is pocketable. The shape, it's comfortable. I love everything about this. So again, this hit my list of my favorites this year. But don't get me wrong, Deadheads. I'm sure you're going to leave me a comment. But yeah, the 5 is awesome. But let's see what the old man thinks about it. All right, how about the Retroid Pocket Mini? I think he might like this one. Let's see.
First thing I noticed about that, the little humps on the back of it, it kind of fits right into your hand. And the controls are all right there in front of you. It's got a nice little screen on the thing. Good speaker on the back. I'm going to have to give this one a thumb up on it.
Thumbs up. So this guy right here, which originally was the Powkiddy V10, but this is the rebranded Porodo, the one that is being sold in the Middle East, making sure the people in the Middle East have access to some awesome devices. I was just interacting with somebody from Iran that was able to pick one of these up that cannot have anything shipped to them from AliExpress. So again, even though this is overpriced, I'm glad this version exists. But the original V10 is a great device. The GBA is amazing on this 2X on this screen. This thing has a great form factor. It's somewhat pocketable. It's also at a very good price on AliExpress. You can pick this up, especially during the Black Friday sales, at a very reasonable sale. It's got a Rock chip 3326, which is very capable for everything you want to put on this. And again, I love the way Game Boy Advance looks on this thing. I'm only going to pick up the KTR1 or the Pocket Micro over this, because if I didn't have those, I'd be completely happy with this, but they're just a little bit better as far as Game Boy Advance goes. That being said, this is totally one of the handhelds, my favorite of the year, and I find myself picking this up often, even though it's underpowered and a lot cheaper than the Pocket Micro or the KTR1. Anyways, what do old Pops think about this one? Let's ask the old man. All right, the Powkiddy V10 or the Porodo, which is actually the knockoff here. Let's see what he thinks about this one.
Comfortable. It's not real heavy. Screen proportion to its size. Controls in the back. On the thing. I like it. I give it a thumbs up.
All right. The GKD Pixel. Oh, one of my favorites, guys. I love Laozong and what he does. And this beautiful micro console with its premium metal shell is just about perfect, with only one small little flaw, and that is its software. But thanks to developers like Moto, and check out our guide on how to improve this, we now have full access to RetroArch and some other alternatives to make this quite good, actually. So the Pixel 2 or Pixel Pro, whatever they're going to call it, is going to be coming out early next year, and I'm very excited for it. And I'm hoping they get a hold of that 3.2-inch screen that we've seen in the Brick and the RGB Pro, and they just give this a better processor and open source it, because I love this device. I've collected them. I've got all the colors. It's a beautiful device. It stays with me. I love the feel of it. I love the buttons. I love the color, the look. It's just a great device. So anyways, what does the old man think about this tiny little metal wonder? Let's find out. Thinks about the Pixel. What do you think?
It's not heavy little rascal for a size. It's metal too. and
Yeah.
got a glass video screen on it. Somebody went a long ways to make something this size here. The controls are right at your fingertips. You can even slips in your pocket easy too. So a kid could even slick it in somewhere and take it off the scooter. They would nobody wasn't supposed to, but
All right.
the controls are pleasing purplish color here.
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
I don't know any more about it, but I give it a thumbs up on the thing for its size. If its insides are as good as outsides, it's gonna be a real good.
Old man said it. The KT Pocket R1. Oh, yes. The most tragic of journeys. This being the aluminum revision with the improved bigger buttons. I love this device. This is another one of my favorite ways to play Game Boy Advance with its beautiful high-res 1080p 3.2 screen. This is a beautiful, beautiful screen. For many systems, it works very good on 4.3 content. It works good enough on 16.9 content. It's a perfect balance at 3:2 ratio. The G99, it's a very capable device. You know, it would have been more impressive had this launched the way it should have. But even now, 2 years after this was first announced, this is still a device that I like quite a bit. I found myself picking this up and playing it a whole lot. Again, mainly because of this beautiful screen here and the ergonomics of it. 4.5 inches is a sweet spot. I think I'm a 5-inch to 4.5-inch person overall. The bigger screens I haven't loved as much, but I really love this handheld. The screen, the ergonomics of it, it's just very good and makes me excited to see what this company or one-man show who's becoming a company can do in the future. Anyways, with this beautiful metal color, just look at this, guys. Look how beautiful this is. It's just a beautiful finish. Anyways, let's see what the old man thinks, okay? Kate, how about the KT Pocket R1 metal?
It's lighter than some of them, but it's solid. It's metal. Controls good. I like it.
He likes that one. The Ayaneo Pocket S, long in development through an Indiegogo campaign, really came out at an unfortunate time. The delays, the overshadowing of the Odin 2 Mini, and the OLED Steam Deck sort of took a little bit of wind out of this. But guys, this is my favorite handheld. I play this as my everyday carry. This machine is gorgeous with its form factor. It's comfortable to hold. It's thin. It's got a large screen. The 1440p integer scales beautifully, chef's kiss. And it plays anything you can throw at it. The G3 2X Snapdragon in this thing is awesome. It doesn't get too hot. You can put it on max settings. Battery is decent. The battery could be a little better, but overall, I really like this handheld quite a bit. Again, it's my favorite, and I know it's a little pricey, but you're getting a beautiful glass design with metal. It's a mixture. I like it a lot. Anyways, let's see what the old man thinks about it. All right, the Ayaneo Pocket S, my favorite one. Would he like it?
Ooh, it's a biggie. Yes, it got all nice, comfortable on the humping under the back of it for you. It just feels natural in your hand, and it's like controls good. Big screen on thing. I gotta give this one 2.5.
You heard him, Deadheads.
2.5.
So that's it, Deadheads. Those are my picks. Please leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Again, this is not meant to sway or get you to agree. I really want some consensus here, but I also want some non-consensus. Let's have a good discussion in our community here. It's the great thing about our community. There's so many devices that we can all enjoy them to some extent. So for me, these are the ones that I'm definitely keeping long term and play. You saw my top 5. You saw the others that were in the contention. And I just want to get some feedback and let me know what you're thinking. There are many other devices that are not quite released or I haven't actually used that did not make into this list that could do so, such as the Trim UI Brick, which we're waiting for, or the AYN Portal, the Odin Portal, which we expect to be excellent as well. So again, this is just for the games and the handhelds that I have used myself and the ones that I found to be quite excellent. I hope you guys are staying safe out there. Remember to hug your loved ones and love your hugged ones because tomorrow is never promised. We'll see you next time, Deadheads. Dead Fred out.